Hey, what's up? It's Amina Seenet, and welcome to 48 Laws of Power. Let me see how I start this countdown. I never know how to do this mess. Camera. All right. Audio, can y'all hear me and see me? Mm, darn. Okay. I can't see anything in this mess. Comments. Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? It is Amina Rose, and I'm happy to be here with you. So, we came here to talk about 48 Laws of Power. Thank you, TP. I don't know. I guess we're just gonna get into it because I was gonna do an intro. Can't even do an intro. I'm still trying to figure this out. It's gonna take me maybe three more times to get this mess under control. But yeah, anyway. But forget it. We'll just start it off. First law of power is never outshine the master. So this one is brought to you by this guy. There was a king, and he had like a servant named Faku, right? Faku was in charge of the great parties. He was like his right hand man. He was the king's right hand man. He would do parties. He was in favor with everybody, and he showed everybody a good time. The king unalives at some point in his life, and a new king takes over. So when the new king takes over, Farcool's like, "Oh, I'm good in this hood. I could do whatever I want." So Farcool takes the new king dismantles his position. Yo, this position don't exist anymore. Farcool is so upset that the position is no longer there that he's like, "Yo, hey Steven, how you doing? Hey sweet daddy, hey TP." So they took the position away from Fakul. Fakul was like, you know what? I'm gonna show the king that I'm valuable. So he's like, let me do everything that I can. Let me be all that I can. He decides to throw him this extravagant party. He pulls together the best food, the best dressed people. It's so elegant. Everybody's talking about the party is so over the top, right? The new king is like, this guy is a freaking threat. He devises a plan, puts this guy in jail, and is like, we gotta unalive this guy now. So Fakul showed off so much that the king unalived him, took all his people and contacts, and threw a bigger and better party. So the name of number one is never outshine the master, which is like your boss or your supervisor. Don't ever let them think that you could be a threat or powerful. They're saying that whenever you decide to do something, make sure that you are meek. You're not intimidating. You'd be like, oh my gosh, I could never do this without you. If you wasn't here to supervise me, or if you wasn't here to do this, then I don't know what I would do. They tell you to do that just until you seat yourself in a certain amount of power and a certain amount of position, and then you take over. And that's the way you rock that. Anyway, guys, how are you guys doing? That was number one, 48 Laws of Power. Hey, Ingo, how you doing? Are y'all ready for the second one of 48 Laws of Power? The second rule is friends. I know. The thing with that is saying that when you become powerful, all right, you know what? I'm going to give you an example. So the book gives you an example. There was a king, right? A young king, and he had a best friend. He saved his best friend's life. And he was like, yo, he's indebted to me. He owes me everything. This my man, this my friend. Number one, TP says number one, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Same thing. Yes, exactly. So, like we saying, number two is your best friend. He was like, this is my guy. I saved his life. He owes me his life. He would never betray me. And in the book, it's saying the person that you think would never betray you is the one to betray you. Now, they say that because you're not paying attention. So, in the book, the king put his best friend through school. He gave him all the finest things. He put him in charge of the military. And you know, whoever holds the power of the military holds the power in general. So he puts this guy in a real big situation in the military, and the guy makes friends and he gets money. So the king is giving his friend all his money. It's like, oh, whatever, it's cool. You need this, you need that. Set him up for like a lifetime of power and money. But because the friend didn't work hard, he's like, it should be given to you. If you're not working hard, eventually you're like, this is mine. It's mine. You got it. That means I got it. We're friends, right? He becomes a little bit reckless. And eventually a king is like, all right, you got to pay back some of this money. You have money. Pay back some of it. And the friend is like, excuse me? You want me to pay? No, I'm not paying for this. This is ridiculous. Like, you got it. Why shouldn't I have it? So the friend grows a little bit of envy and disdain for the king. And he starts plotting for the king's downfall because it's like, yo, I could do this position better than my best friend, who is the king. The best friend takes the king out. And he puts his head on a pike. And he's like, yo, and walks through the town. And that is what his best friend did. Now they're saying the reason this happened is because the king, because he was like, I saved his life and he was in his feelings. He didn't see his best friend capable of taking his life because he felt like, yo, I did all of this stuff for my best friend. There's no way he would betray me. In the book, it says instead of giving your friend all the power, they're saying get an enemy. And I get it. It makes sense because if you take an enemy instead of your friend, you're always going to watch him. And they say that your enemy does a lot to be in your good favor, which is probably why Jay-Z took Nas under his wing when he became when he had the record company and he took Nas. Is like, you always indebted to me, dude. So that's the way they say they move. And this is, by the way, 48 Laws of Power is one of 50 Cent's favorite book, which hence the word power is what the series is actually based off. 48 Laws of Power right here. So the next one is number 3, conceal. They tell you to conceal your intentions. Wait, before I'm gonna look at other people real quick before I go into the next one. We got a quote from Sweet Daddy. He says, friends are enemies waiting to happen. Yo, okay, I do got to tell this one story real quick. So it's like being at work. When you at work, you have all these friends, right? And you're talking, chatting, you going through life. Life is lifing, and you fall out of favor with your friends. So when you fall out of favor with your friends, your friends know a lot about you, right? That's where rumors from your job starts floating around and all this other stuff. You be like, yo, so now I know my whole life business is out in this job. And God forbid you had a relationship with somebody that you didn't want nobody to know about it. Well, when y'all break up, just know that friend is talking about you. So that's why it is kind of very difficult to have friends in your workplace. How many of y'all have friends and then all of a sudden y'all fall out in the workplace and now all your business is out in the street? It is hell going to work the next day, by the way. Let's see what TP says. TP says, see people for who they are and not for who you want them to be. That is true. But when we have friends, we get blinded by that. And we start, oh, you know what? That's my friend. Our friend wouldn't hurt me. biggest enemies in the world. All right, so we're gonna go to number 3 in 48 Laws of Power. It says conceal. All right. So it's saying conceal your intention. So if you want to do something or if you want something in life, instead of telling everybody your blueprint, you will, I guess, fake left and go right. You understand what I'm saying? So in the book, it gives an example. It was actually a con artist. He comes up to this rich man, and the con artist looked all rich and everything. And he's like, listen, I got land that is worth double. But what happens is my family had a falling out, and these people are filthy rich, and they don't got time to worry about the semantics. They just want to get rid of the property. The property is $35,000. I just needed to get it off their hands, and then we're gonna resell it for $120,000. So the guy is like, "Oh, $120,000. That sounds good. All I got to give is 35,000." Mind you, they went up to a rich dude. This is back in the day. It's not even current. This is probably like, I don't know, in the 70s or 60s, right? So the guy's like, "Oh, all I got to give is $35,000 for this property, and the property is worth way more." It's so they're like, fine, that's what I'll do, right? So the guy is so interested in giving the money to the rich person that no, sorry. The rich person is so engulfed that he gives the money to the con artist. And he's like, they're sitting there and they're like, oh, he's thinking about all the money that he's gonna get. They're riding in the train. Matter of fact, I'm so sorry. He didn't give the money yet. They're riding in the train. They're going to look at the property and everything. On the way to the property, he meets like 4 other people that's interested in it. And the con artist actually knows them. And they're like, oh, we're setting up for a fight real quick. And in the fight, the boxes are gonna take a nosedive. And these people don't even know that. And we're gonna take the bag from under them. So the rich guy is like, oh, this is another scam. They got his mind so warmed with all these different plans and all of this way to make money. This guy can't see what's in front of him. He don't think it's a scam because he's looking for the $125,000. So he's like, yeah, whatever. It's water under the bridge. So they're like, well, we got to put our money together in order to pull this off. We got to put like $45,000 in, and I can't get all my money tonight. I have $10,000. So the guy's like, yo, whatever. I already have 35 that I was putting in. So we're going to put this in a lockbox. Fine. The fight happens mind you, they're going on the way to look at this property. The fight happens. Something happens in a fight where it goes wrong, and one of the boxers gets unalived. And the rich guy's like, oh, shoot, how the heck did I get up in this? I got to get the heck out of Dodge. So he gathers all his stuff to try to get out of Dodge, leaves the money. He don't want nothing to do with it because it was illegal gambling. He don't want nothing to do with this unalived situation. Gets right back on home and leaves the $35,000 in the table. Everybody wakes up. It was a whole big scam. But because they had this guy going from left to right and right to left, the whole plan was to get $35,000, and he didn't even know it. So that was number 3 in 48 Laws of Power. Conceal your plans. Don't let everybody know what you're doing. Don't give them the blueprint. Let me see what everybody's saying in these chats. How y'all doing, guys? Hey, Tamika Den, how are you, love? Yes, everybody, please hit that like button. From unknown. Don't rob people. I mean, that is the book 48 Laws of Power. That is a straight story from the source. TP says it sounds like DJ Envy and partner. And all right, TP, let me tell you something. Because I've seen DJ Envy give some kind of speech before, right? And I knew he was full of mess when he told these people that it's so difficult to buy a house. And if you're not, allegedly, I'm going to say, but I heard him on the stage, but allegedly, he was like, if you're not well equipped, no, he said, if you don't know people, it's hard to buy a house. And I was like, what? It is not hard to buy a house. All you gotta do is have good credit and stuff like that. What do you mean you gotta know somebody to have a house? I was done from there. So whatever. He's going through whatever he's going through. Anyway, so rule number 4 for 48 laws of power. CP says right. Um, always say less. I'm gonna tell you a prime example real quick before we get into other examples. But the example with Drake, when he came out on that last diss track, he said too much when he's like, prove it. And then the internet started interneting and he started proving stuff about the child that's not his or not. He should have just never said anything, but say less. If you say less. So the book actually says that when you say less, it makes you more luxurious. It's like there was a king. He would come out and everybody had to seek him for their opinion and he had to give approval before anything got done, right? And he wouldn't speak. He would come out and he'll be like, they'll come up to him, the house is burning down. We got to get ready for war. This person needs you to make a decision. And he would look and he would just answer and he would look from his left and then so he would look to his right and then he would say, we shall see. I'll have somebody get back to you tomorrow. And then he'll have like his people do work, find out information, listening to what everybody else is saying. And everybody will be talking to him all through the night. And when he comes up in his morning, he'll just make the decision. He'll say, just do this, do that, and do this. Like 3 different things for the situation. Mind you, he was very vague. A lot of con artists do this. They'll be very vague. So your mind will be working overtime because you don't want to bother the person and ask too many questions. And your mind will work double time trying to fix the situation anyway. And when you fix it, they'll be like, exactly. Or if you're running around crazy and you get it wrong, and they'll be like, that is not exactly what I said. You know, that's why they always say it's always mystery when you say less. And people hold you on a pedestal. For example, like me, I went on I have friends, and because we're so close, they're like, whatever. They're not gonna pay me attention. They're on Instagram trying to figure out how to lose weight. So I lose, I think I was getting big and I didn't realize it until one day I saw a picture and I was like, I look like this. I can't look like this. So I lost like 15, 16 pounds in 6 weeks. But it's easy to do because all you got to do is just be disciplined, eat fruits, berries, nuts, or whatever. And no diddy. Anyway, but you got to be very disciplined. I just cut out starch, really. And then I was just running and stuff like that. But losing weight is 85 to 90% diet. That is it. Just cut out the carbs and everything else. And that mess will just fly right off of you. But because so they saw me do it, but they're on YouTube listening to people they don't even know who was probably faking the pictures and everything else on I think it was Twitter or something. Oh, but the girl on Twitter said, I was like, okay, whatever. When you say less and people don't really know you, they just value you more. And that's just what it is. He says, hey, beautiful. Hey, Chad, how are you? Smiles Omen says, hello, how are you? I got Sweet Daddy. It's better to be thought of as a fool rather than to open your mouth and reveal all doubt. That is true. That is true. That's why you say less. All right, we have number 5. Your reputation, guard it with your life. Now, that is a fact. My father once told me, oh, wait, I got to put that up. TP says, like Therese before social media. Yo, how many times have you watched these like self-help clips on YouTube and you hear Tyrese talk about, you got to be hungry, you got to fight, you got to do this. You be thinking, oh, he's smart, until he started talking about all his drama and his unsuccessful life with his women and crying. You would have thought he was the man. But yes, he opens his mouth too much and told people too much about his personal life that people just, I don't follow him anymore. Like, you could save all your stuff. Same thing with Steve Harvey, how to be a woman, man, or whatever. He think like a man. And he told women. And then you start seeing his relationship and everybody starts digging and he starts talking and you find out Marjorie allegedly was with his bodyguard and everything. Now people looking at Steve Harvey like he's crazy. Now nobody want to think like a man. But that's how it works. All right. So yes. Number 5, reputation. Your reputation is you. I know my father, and it is the best thing in the world. He said once a man gives his word, you can't, he has to stand by it. If you're known to falter and never be a person of your word, then nobody will believe anything you say. But I got a better dig. Subconsciously, if you don't do what you say when you say you're going to do it, you don't believe yourself. So it's like, oh, I got to get up and work out tomorrow. And your body be like, yeah, whatever. She always say this mess every day. We don't go nowhere. So you don't even believe yourself. So yes, your reputation, you always do what you're going to say. You be the honorable person. It means everything. That's like if you go into a job interview and this person is like, yo, I've heard so much good things about this person. The reputation got to the door before the person did. And just because of that, they're going to get the job. They don't even got to speak that much. Their reputation just rang bells. It's like if you're going to go somewhere and you know somebody's there that's prestigious, it's like, oh, I trust this person. I don't even know this person, but you automatically think you trust this person because everybody, like, your word travels before you do. Like if this person is always late and doesn't show up for stuff and never keeps their word, they're gonna be like, oh, this person's a liar or whatever. And you never will trust anything coming out of this person's mouth. That's like when a girl is dating a guy that cheated. She don't trust you no more. So when you say, oh, I'll be right back, I gotta go to the store. Are you really going to the store? Did you really lose your phone? You don't trust that person no more. So your reputation, guard it with your life. It means everything to even people that's you don't even know was watching. Any other? Yes. Sweet Daddy says your word is your bond. That is facts all day. Let me see. What's the next one? What does TP says? TP says, say what you mean and mean what you say. Talk needs to match your actions at all times. Absolutely, it does. 100%. The next one is court attention at all costs. That's like, I'm like, yo, 50 Cent all day on this mess. Court attention. You see how 50 Cent is always trending, but he does, if y'all ever read his book, Hustle Harder, that is what he does. He knows who his competition is and he knows how to make his name everywhere. So we associate his name with they say trolling, like you don't want no problems with him. He will go from A to Z on your behind. That is his reputation, but he also gets that by coming out and getting attention. He just said, like, when he was fighting with Rick Ross, he was like, I did that mess on purpose. I did it because I'm a rapper and he was a rapper and I just wanted to get ahead. But he was like, now I'm over that. He pays attention. That's why when Power first came out, he trolled Empire because he was doing the most to get attention. But once he gets the attention, he turns it on himself and he pushes the product that he wants to push. That's like right now, if I did something crazy, no, I wouldn't do nothing crazy. All eyes will be on me for like 5 minutes. And what would I do with it? I don't know, sell t-shirts or something. I don't know. But it's just saying get attention, court attention at all costs. I personally don't want bad attention, so because I don't want nobody testing me or trying me. Number 7. Okay, this is a good one. Number 7 is get others to do the work for you, but always take credit. Yo, because the book gives you a freaking example out of this world. And I was like, oh my gosh, they so right. So they're saying by you getting other people to do work for you, it gives you like a godlike feature because everybody's like, oh my God, this person always gets stuff done. Meanwhile, you on Fiverr, you're on this and you're on that. You got people doing so much stuff for you. And you just like, yeah, the credit is all mine. Whatever. But the book gives the freaking example of Thomas Edison and Tesla. Who do we know? Now, before Tesla came out with his car, who did we know? Who invented electricity? I will wait on that. Con Ed. Thomas Edison. Who did all the work for Thomas Edison? Nicholas Tesla. He worked until he unalived himself. He worked himself, I could say it, break it. He worked himself to death. He worked himself. And that's why he never saw money. He never did the riches or the fames. He enjoyed the work. And he never got the credit. So Con Ed got the credit. He invented electricity. But he didn't. He had 1 million people working for him. And Nicholas Tesla was the best worker. And when it was all said and done, Thomas Edison took the credit. So thank you, Nicholas Tesla. And that's why they say get others to do the work for you. Because they said nobody will remember the workers and everybody will remember the person that got everything done. That's the way history is made, unfortunately, but it's true. Okay, let me see any comments real quick. DeMarcus, everyone is going live at the same time. Everyone always goes live, DeMarcus. Yeah, I guess catch me in the replay. But thank you. Sweet Daddy says, boss, exactly. TP says, black people. I don't know what you mean by that, but 100% always want to be the leader. Yeah, it has nothing to do with black people because Nicholas Tesla and Con Ed, Thomas Edison, they ain't black. Okay. What am I up to? Okay, number 8. Okay. We got a war thing. Make other people come to you. Use bait if you have to. This is like war. This the example given was a war with Napoleon. So pretty much a whole war was breaking out and being done, and they literally was like, what did they say? I'm sorry. That threw me off. Yeah, a war was being done. And this person had beef with Napoleon, and they was like, yo, screw that. Get him to come to us, and we're gonna set him up. So the thing is, they tell you to always be on the offense and never the defense, because when you're on defense mode, you're always reacting to stuff. You're reactive, and you're slower when you're reacting and not active. If you understand what I'm saying. That's like if I walk up to somebody and push them, I'm automatically going to knock them down because they have to react to me pushing them. And more than likely, they're going to be angry. But guess what? Because I started it and because I was the one to offend and he's on the defense, I already know he's going to be angry. So I duck. I swing back. But that's what boxers do. The offense and the defense. So they got Napoleon out. They had him come out of the jail or whatever, and they told him to go to France, and France will take care of you. And he didn't know he was really walking into enemy territory, so he had to fight them. But then he had another person that right after he finished with France, he had another person to go fight. So he's reacting off of all this war to the point he gets defeated because he's reacting. So they tell you, make your enemy come to you. You know, you're a lot calmer when you're sitting on your throne, waiting for people to come at you. That's just how it is. You're pulling all the strings. I got number 9 and 10, and then we are done, people. All right. Number 9. Win through actions. Oh, okay. They tell you to win your battles through actions and never argue. No one can argue. Let me see. Win through actions, never argument. Oh, okay. No one can argue when you prove your point. So it's like if you do, if you be like, oh, I can make this amount of money, and why am I going to argue with you? And why am I going to give you my energy? And they're like, no, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Why? What point is that? How about just do it? And they say, no, you can't. It's already done. Spend your energy just doing what you need to do and showing people that. Okay. Oh, TP said black people made electricity too. I believe you. I believe you. There was a lot of things being done. Um, TP says Drake needs to read number 9. Yo, this war was crazy this weekend. Number 10, infection. Sorry. Low vibrational people can be infectious and emotional. Avoid unhappy and unlucky people. So that's like this guy. He was a high ranking guy. And it was cool. He was I'm sorry, I'm laughing right now. I'm just getting my thoughts together. He went and he married this person that was like, she was low vibrational as heck, and she was so dysfunctional. And everybody knew who she was, and she was not to be trusted. So they went and they went and they had people in the circle and stuff like that. He was like, screw everybody. He went away with this girl, and it didn't work out. She eventually was fighting him and everything else. And when he came back, he lost his throne, he lost his power, he lost his position, and he lost his respect. So that was 1 through 10 of 48 laws of power. If anybody has any questions, anybody want to talk, I'm here for you, girl. I'm here for you guys. I will be here again next week, same time, same place, 7 o'clock on Wednesday. But if you want to talk for like a good 5 minutes, I am here if y'all want to chat. If not, then I will see you on the replay, you guys. You have been wonderful, and I appreciate you. Yo, I really love you guys, and I thank you for showing love. This has been Amina Rose, and I'll see you next week.